So illnesses come and go, like the flu, pertussis, whatever. Illnesses come and go. But if you vaccinate and you have a reaction, you cannot unvaccinate. And health doesn't come through a needle. We know that. Illnesses come and go. Health does not come through a needle. And you can vaccinate and you can still get the disease. And each shot is really like Russian roulette. You never know when you're going to get the bullet to your head. And if pro-vaccine folks claim that reactions are 1 in a million, they're referring to the most serious reactions. They never mention the millions of reactions that cause problems that do not result into death. So I believe that there's thousands that have never vaccinated, but I think it's a rare parent who wishes that they would. And I think that all the information in here is so concise and that there are so many links. And if people want to go directly to the document, if they go to drtenpenny.com on the home page, there's a link to the document. There's a link to where you can sign up for your support of the document. And I think that we can get a lot of traction out of this, Alex, to get a huge number of healthcare workers to come out of the closet and stand up to say, I don't want to be vaccinated in order to get a job. I want a lot of parents to come forth and say, I don't want my kids vaccinated in order to go to a very expensive college education. We've got to be able to ensure that people have the right to say no.
Well, I totally agree, and of course our IQs are dropping. When you talk about us having one of the most unhealthy populations in the world, no one can deny it. You've got Bayer Pharmaceutical caught for 10 years shipping out Factor 8, knowing it had HIV and hepatitis. I mean, it's time for these groups to be held accountable and to stop getting away with it.
Absolutely. And accountability is the thing. I mean, they are so protected by the government, everybody from the top down. The pharmaceutical industries are protected, the doctors, the nurses at the public health department, everybody is protected. What other industry out there is like that? None.
Well, remember the 2 reports out of Canada, prestigious groups found that there was a doubling of your chances of getting the regular flu, a lowering of the overall immune system if you had the H1N1 shot. And I know that's a dovetail into why vaccinated children have far worse health outcomes than unvaccinated children. And then you link to all the numbers and facts, encapsulate that key point for folks.
It's really important to understand that the vaccines, they do really lower your immune system and make you more susceptible. Like you just said, the reports came out that if you got the H1N1 vaccine, it increased your risk of having the flu. And if flu shots were so good for us, and if all these other vaccines were so good for us, why is it that the government has to pass laws in order to require us to have them? I mean, if it was so good for us and it made us so healthy, there wouldn't even be this controversy. But the government is not willing to put money on the line to do a vaccinated children versus unvaccinated children study to look at the health groups of that. And there's actually an organization in Europe that is actually doing an online poll of unvaccinated children. They've got 3,800 case reports so far in their database, and they're crunching the numbers and asking very simple questions like, if your child is unvaccinated by the age of 5, how many doses of antibiotics have they been on? How many times have they been to the hospital? Are they on any chronic long-term medications? Things that are very quantifiable that we can demonstrate that the health of unvaccinated children is much superior to the health of those children who are fully vaccinated.
Well, it's also important. This is mirrored at Natural News, at drtenpenny.com. I'm going to mirror the report at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. I'm going to have my webmasters post the detailed report right there and also link back to you guys. It's important for everybody to not just have this information and then keep it for ourselves. You know, print it out, give it to people at gas stations, bring it to your pastor. If we, the people, get the word out, nothing can stop us. And Dr. Tenpenny, I know you do this tirelessly, with no pay for creating this free report you spent a year making. You're a very successful doctor in your own right, and we just salute you for what you've done.
Thank you so much, Alex. I so appreciate it. So appreciate your support.
No, we appreciate you, and I look forward to getting you back for a full hour in the near future to go over the entire report in detail. But this has been a true public service announcement for everybody out there listening. Dr. Tenpenny, let me say bye to you during the break. We'll be right back with your phone calls and a ton of news as we look towards the Middle East and North Africa and the rebellions spreading.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hello, friends. This is Alex Jones. You've heard me talk about Cal-Ben 5-star soaps for years. This is an American-made product of the highest quality and compares to nothing you will find in stores. You can buy factory direct, shipped via UPS right to your door. Check them out on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091. Take my word for it. Once you've used Pure Soap, you won't buy anything else. Since 1947, Calvin Soap Company has been showing consumers that soap can be tough on dirt and gentle on the environment. Buy American and stay clean, as well as support InfoWars. Visit 5starsoap.com today or call 1-800-340-7091. Well, Marty, what do you have to say?
As founder and owner for over 63 years, satisfaction is guaranteed or double your dirt back. Call us at 1-800-340-7091 for a free catalog or visit our website, 5starsoap.com. Thank you.
Folks, you've heard us talk about Home Gain before. Home Gain is now offering a special promo where you get up to $150 when you buy or sell a home with a Home Gain agent you find through their Find a Realtor program. Home Gain lets you compare realtors anonymously. It's easy. Go to homegain150.com to find and compare realtors anonymously. Enter promo code HOMEGAIN150 and receive up to $150 when you close a deal with a Home Gain agent. Share the Home Gain 150 promo code with your friends via Facebook, Twitter, text, and more. Look for Max, the Home Gain Gorilla, to find out more about how Home Gain is going to pay you. Visit HomeGain150.com today to enter your promo code and get paid for buying or selling a house. That's HomeGain150.com.
Alex told you the government announced recently that the recession is over. It ended on June of 2009. The millions of Americans unable to find work might not agree. Perhaps the recession ended for the bankers and government employees, but for the rest of us, things seem to be getting worse. Gold and silver haven't heard the news either. They've begun their long-expected journey to the moon. In addition to converting your shrinking dollars into gold and silver, you should consider a food savings account from eFoods Direct. They both make fabulous investments. Food is our greatest dependency, and we know it will be more precious than any financial resource. You and your family need food to survive a crisis, and you can't eat paper, stocks, or metals. Alex has been urging you to invest in delicious, easy-fix meals to enjoy now or save for long term. This will freeze the cost of your food while you can still afford it. Visit efoodsdirect.com on the internet or call 800-409-5633. That's efoodsdirect.com or 800-409-5633.
I would stand in line for this. There's always room in life for this. Oh baby, then it fell apart. It fell apart. Oh baby, then it fell apart. It fell apart. Oh baby, then it fell apart. It fell apart. Oh baby, like it always does.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday, the first day of February, 2011, already into the second month of 2011, and we're going in through and beyond. We're going to be mirroring that important report for posterity, so you can get it out to everybody at Infowars.com from Dr. Sherri Tenpenny. I cannot stress enough that this is a devastating report documenting Big Pharma buying off media and government, knowing it's hurting people, getting liability protection so they can hurt people, and their move to try to force vaccination, not just here in the U.S., but worldwide. All the proof is there, and it's up to you, and you've done a great job to carry the ball, to get this information out to everyone and to expose the globalists and their medical, eugenical tyranny that they're carrying out. Okay, obviously, Jordan's monarchy has replaced government in reaction to protests. Kurt Nemos got the report on that. Also, the AP reporting Jordan King fires cabinet amid protest. Yeah, it's an appointed government by the monarchy, and their monarchy runs things, and their people are angry. And the West knows that there's major rebellion stewing, so they're trying in Egypt and other places to maneuver their people into place. We're seeing cryptic statements by George Soros, by the usual suspects like Kissinger, bragging about how this is a play and that this is only the first scene in the first act. The whole world is a stage, each of us players upon it, as William Shakespeare wrote. CFR's Gelb says Egyptian protesters cannot be trusted. The Muslim Brotherhood's involved. Well, it turns out they're being funded by our own governments. Continuing here, Mubarak may flee to Israel, not Saudi Arabia. The press is reporting corporate U.S. media's woeful, sanitized Egypt coverage amounts to censorship. Another report by Steve Watson. Massive crowds across Egypt demand Mubarak ouster. Still up in the air what's going to happen with him. He's been reshuffling his cabinet as if that's a change. Iran says Egypt events herald Islamic Middle East. They like what's happening. Continuing, Muslim Brotherhood says prepare Egyptians for war with Israel, and then they're admittedly run by Western and British intelligence. Again, they want this to be unstable. They want to bring in a crisis in the Middle East. Great story from Eric Blair at Infowars.com. The Pharaoh will fall, oil will climb, and Wall Street will win. And he breaks down why they stand to gain from that. And then we have all these disgusting articles like out of the London Independent. Mohammed El-Baradi, the man who would be president, exclusive interview. Robert Fisk meets Mohammed El-Baradi, Egypt's savior in waiting. This is the open globalist New World Order person, and they're just openly admitting that they're running him and trying to put him in, and that the West triggered these protests. It isn't saying there aren't legitimate reasons to protest. The point is that globalists have created this dictator, propped him up for 30 years. Now they're trying to give him a new, fresh face. Just incredible that that's going on. But right now, let's go to your phone calls then. We've got David Icke coming up in about 25 minutes. And we also have got a bunch of other important news we're going to be breaking down on the economic front. Right now, Anna Marie in New York, you're on the air.
Alex?
Hey, welcome.
Hey, Alex, how are you? Pleasure to finally talk to you.
Good to talk to you. What's on your mind?
I got two comments I wanted to make. First of all, I wanted to let you know that I am a Christian. I've been watching and listening to you for several years now. I am a hardcore Info Warrior gal, and I finally have woken up to the tyranny, and I thank you for that. My other comment is that I turned my calendar this morning to the new month of February 1st, 2011. And on my calendar it says National Freedom Day. And I kind of thought that was a little bit of a joke because we have no freedoms left. We have nothing but tyranny left in this country. And I'm just wondering what's it going to say on next year's calendar. Is it going to be National Communist Day and then maybe the following year National
No, what they do is they never call tyranny. They call it new freedom. That's what they called 6 years ago the government's move to try to medicate half of American school children. That's in the New Freedom Initiative. It's a new freedom to be a mind-numbed zombie, but we still have a lot of freedoms left because they live in us and we're exercising them. But there's no doubt the system, the ruling political class, is trying to overturn every bedrock canon of a free society.
That's absolutely true, and I feel the same way. And I'm just so shocked every day that what goes on that sometimes I feel completely helpless. That what can I do? I mean, I've spread the word, I've done so much, but yet I feel at some level that it's not working. That we're kind of falling. But that's a lie. That's a lie from Satan himself. And
Anna, you got to look at the growth curve. They've been setting this tyranny up for a long time, taking over society, becoming wealthy from it. And now we're turning it around, but it takes time. But the resistance is mounting. The system is panicking at many levels, even some of their internal documents that aren't secret but aren't widely published. Brzezinski and others admit that the system is basically right.